Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, together with the Presidential Communications Office.
We bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Habiba Saripauda.
And I'm Joe Fernandez. We are from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. inspected the Cabagan-Santa Maria Bridge in Isabela, which collapsed last month. The Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA, says that the number of employed Filipinos has increased. The Department of Education, or DepEd, made an assurance that it is addressing the issue on alleged ghost beneficiaries of senior high school voucher program. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, named the dominant majority and minority political parties of the upcoming 2025 midterm polls. Rushing or hurrying up on occasion takes up more time, just as getting cheap or trying to save on quality could ultimately cost more. A whole lot more, as in the case of the Cabagan-Santa Maria Bridge in Isabela, which the President saw for himself earlier today and bewailed the bridge's flawed design as root cause, along with its budget of 800 million pesos less from the original. As such, there will be hell to pay for those responsible for the collapse of Cabagan-Santa Maria Bridge and its frail design that reeks of corruption and incompetence, as our Kenneth Paciente reports.
Traces of the collapse that occurred last month can still be seen on the Cabagan-Santa Maria Bridge in the province of Isabela. This truck remains hanging on the damaged section of the bridge, while other vehicles and motorcycles are still stranded. Thus, residents, motorists, and commuters are temporarily using the overflow bridge. One of them is Teresito, who is disappointed over the failure of a supposedly well-maintained bridge daily, but then has to endure a rather longer and rough route instead.
Perwisyo na naman talagang pagbiyahe sa mga trabaho.
To determine the root cause of the incident, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. personally inspected the bridge, accompanied by representatives from DPWH Region 2, the Central Office, and local officials. After his assessment, a design flaw or a problem in the design was identified as the reason why such a section of the bridge collapsed. He noted that although 1.8 billion was allocated for the project, a lower amount was actually disbursed and spent, ultimately affecting the bridge's design.
Binawasan to under 1 billion para makamura. Ayan, inayos ngayon, ginawa ngayon yung detailed design. Design is really weak. Dahil kung tutusin ninyo, this is supposed to be a suspension bridge, nakasabit. Nakaganyan yung arko na ganyan, tapos yung bridge suportado ng kable. Ito lang ang suspension bridge na nakita ko sa buong mundo na hindi kable. At yan na mismo ang bumigay. Ayan o. Diyan bumigay yung bakal.
He also pointed out that issues necessitating corrections had already been identified from the start.
Nung una pa nga ang ginagawa ito, kasi naging umabot 900 million natin yung original na budget, umabot ng 1.2 dahil nag-refit. Bakit nag-refit? Nung nagko-construction pa lang, may nakita na gumagalaw, na mahina. Kaya kailangan balikan at refit. So, the whole process is, okay naman. Yung construction, yung contractor, sinundan naman ang plano. By the book naman yung kanyang ginawa, up to specifications yung kanilang ginawa. Yun lang, yung specifications mali.
The President expressed regret as the bridge would now require extensive repairs, essentially bringing the project back to square one.
We have no choice. We have to go back. So yung nagtitipid natin sa 1.8 million, useless. Ngayon, babalik na naman tayo, gagastos na naman tayo ng malaki. Papalitan natin yung mga support, parang nagtayo na naman tayo ng bagong tulay.
However, the President assured that accountability will be exacted. But he also emphasized that the primary focus should be in addressing the issue and fixing the bridge first.
I always have a saying, fix the problem, not the blame. Ayusin muna natin yung problema. Believe me, we will find out who is responsible. Who is responsible is basically who made the design. Because their design is poor. Look what happened.
On the part of the House of Representatives, the Makabayan bloc also launched an investigation into the issue. Through House Resolution number 2249, they aim to determine whether corruption or negligence played a role in the incident. And to keep such incident from happening again, the palace suggests
Maganda rin po na maisbigay nating suggestion at malamang po din yan ang gagawin ng administrasyon. I-inspect po hanggat maaari lahat po with the help of DPWH, with the help of LGUs, lahat po ng mga tulay.
from PTV Manila, Kenneth Pasyente, Balitang Pambansa.
The economic cure-all pill of jobs, jobs, jobs has improved the overall health of Filipino working world and jobs market of late. A sure sign of better days ahead, with inflation dipping considerably last month from 2.8% in January to 2.1%. As our Faisal Padilla rattles off more numbers in this report.
Len is back to work as a promodizer several years after losing her job due to the pandemic.
Kailangan talagang magtrabaho. Kailangan talaga dalawa kami ng partner ko kasi kung pag-isa lang, wala, kulang talaga. Ang dagdag po sa pagpapaaral ng mga anak.
She has completed her training and is now just waiting for a few requirements to start a new job.
Importante po talaga may training. Para siyempre aware ka para sa mga product na hahawakan mo, ganun. Para pag marap ka kay customer, alam mo rin i-explain sa kanila kung ano yung product mo at kung gaano kaganda at kung gaano sila masasatisfied.
According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, the number of Filipinos with jobs has increased. From 45.90 million last year, the figure rose to 48.49 million in January 2025. Meanwhile, the country's unemployment rate dropped to 4.3% this January, down 4.5% from last year. The underemployment rate also dipped to 13.3% from 13.7%. Under the administration of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., the government has focused on skills development. The Technical Education and Skills Development Authority has been providing Filipinos with trainings to improve their employability. In 2024, 1,081,375 Filipinos received certifications after training with TESTA. Other government offices are also helping improve skills in fields like technology, preparing Filipinos to meet international demand. Through the Information and Communications Technology Academy program of the DICT, 943 training sessions have been conducted for over 90,000 government employees.
Dahil dito, mas maraming oportunidad sa trabaho at mas mataas na kalidad ng hanap buhay ang maibibigay sa mga Pilipino. Mas marami rin ang negosyanteng mag-i-invest na makakatulong para mapalakas ang ating ekonomiya.
President Marcos's signing of the Create More Act has also helped improve incentives and policies for both local and foreign investors. The law is expected to help boost investments in the country, leading to creation of more jobs, better living standards for Filipinos, and further economic growth. From PTV Manila, Kalaysel Padilla, Balitang Pambansa.
The palace announced that local government units or LGUs that currently have no financial capacity to pay upfront can now access affordable rice from the National Food Authority or NFA on credit. Under this initiative, LGUs may distribute the subsidized rice to their constituents, providing relief to Filipinos struggling with high food costs and ease the financial burden on consumers. According to the palace, the payment for the rice can be settled within a month to ensure flexibility for local governments while maintaining food security efforts.
Ang sabi sa atin, ni DA Secretary Laurel, pwede kumuha ng bigas, utang, kausapin ang FTI, at may 30 days yata po na iaalaw para kung may nagbayad na po sa kanila, nabenta na po yung mga bigas para sa mga constituents, then pwede sila magbayad.
Meanwhile, the Department of Education, or DepEd, has reaffirmed its commitment to resolving and addressing concerns regarding the alleged ghost students under the senior high school voucher program. DepEd also stated that an investigation is underway, leading to the removal of 55 schools from the program due to the alleged irregularities. Our PTV's Melalis Moras has the details.
The Department of Education has assured the public it continues to address the issue of alleged ghost students under their senior high school voucher program. During the hearing of the House Committee on Basic Education and Culture, DepEd Education Programs Management Office Project Manager Attorney Tara Ramos said an ongoing investigation on the matter is underway, and so far, they have terminated the participation of 55 schools in the program due to alleged ghosting and other issues.
We started terminating po. We had 22 schools for school year 2021 to 2022. That's 22 in February 2023. And we terminated another 32 schools for school year 2022 to 2023. Yan po yung parang sakop ng findings natin. And then for 2023-2024, we already have one terminated, and then under investigation po yung another 12.
DepEd has yet to determine the total amount that may have been lost due to ghost students. However, they have already withheld payment for some billing statements from certain schools.
For school year 2023-2024, around 200 million po yung hindi po natin release because nga po may discrepancy. So we cannot say altogether na ghost students po yun kasi it might be na pumasok po sila sa private school on the first few months and then afterwards umalis po sila.
Lawmakers insist they will continue to monitor the issue until it is resolved. They are also urging DepEd to ensure that only those who truly need assistance are included in the voucher program.
We're talking about public funds here. Sa atin naman, kahit saang ahensya o sino man yung nakaupo dyan, ay kailangan talaga nagagamit ng tama ang pera ng bayan.
Meanwhile, the extreme heat menacing the country was also brought up during the hearing. Eventually, lawmakers shared these suggestions.
Sana i-consider na rin ng DepEd na bawasan yung subjects, siguraduhin natin yung functional literacy.
Kailangan din talaga sa ahensya, meron tayong long-term na plano kasi nga we expect this to be an issue every year na.
From PTV, Melales Moras, Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, the proposed Child Tourist Safety Act, which aims to prevent accidents involving children during vacations, was discussed in a hearing by the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality. Families who have experienced tragedies while on vacation shared their stories and highlighted challenges such as the lack of nearby hospitals and resorts without proper first aid facilities. The Department of Health, or DOH, assured that efforts are being made to address these concerns and enhance tourist safety in the country. However, the DOH underscored the need for support from other government sectors to implement necessary safety measures effectively.
We also need the help from the other national government agencies, which includes the DOT, and of course yung importance po ng role po ni DILG, since LGU po talaga yung parang may power na makapag-close ng isang establishment.
Meanwhile, in the Senate Committee on Migrant Workers addressed concerns over Balitang Bayan boxes stuck in Philippine warehouses. Senator Raffy Tulfo pointed out instances of goods being damaged, like chocolates that melted due to less than ideal storage conditions, and issues with the consolidators failing to clear shipments. The Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, is working to resolve the problem. Additionally, scams involving unprocessed shipments were noted. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Customs, or BOC, announced plans to donate forfeited items in collaboration with the DMW instead of allowing them to be discarded.
Pero meron na kaming deed of donation na wino-work out with DMW na instead of i-forfeit or i-abandon yung mga balikbayan boxes na nagkakaproblema, i-donate na lang po sa DMW.
In other news, Metro Manila's heat index reached 40 degrees Celsius yesterday, with forecasts suggesting similar conditions today. Due to the extreme heat, Several areas suspended face-to-face classes. For its part, the Department of Education, or DepEd, advised schools to avoid outdoor activities and ensure students remain hydrated. Meanwhile, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, has implemented a 30-minute heat stroke break for field personnel, including traffic enforcers and street sweepers, to protect them from the intense heat.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, named the Lakas Christian Muslim Democrats, or Lakas CMD, as the dominant major and the Nacionalista Party as the dominant minority party for the 2025 midterm elections. COMELEC says that poll watchers of the said parties will be prioritized at the voting precincts and on the vote canvassing. The two parties will also have their own servers, which will receive election returns directly from the precincts and have access of the hard copies of election returns. The Lakas CMD and Nacionalista Party were chosen based on the criteria stated in COMELEC Resolution Number 11119. On the other news, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or the AFP, is in mourning following the tragic deaths of the two Philippine Air Force pilots. First, who perished in an aircraft accident during a tactical night operation against the members of New People's Army, or NPA, in Bukidnon. According to the Philippine Air Force, all possible angles in the investigation will be examined, including mechanical issues and human factors. Investigators are all en route to the crash site, where the flight data recorder from the downed FA-50 aircraft has already been recovered. As the investigation continues, all 11 remaining FA-50 jets remain grounded.
Sa loob ng mahigit 30 taon, para kay Aling Noning, ang kanilang sakahan ay parte na ng kanyang buhay. Dahil simula pa noong 1986, dito na niya naigugol ang kanyang hanap buhay sa pagsasaka. At ito ang naging instrumento para sa kanya na mapagtapos nila ang kanilang 4 na anak. Siya ay isang ginang na mula sa bayan ng Lux, Gutalak sa probinsya ng Zamboanga del Norte.
Dako kay gikatabang namo ning Agrarian Reform Program, panghatagan mi og mga seedlings. Dako kay to gikatabang namo kay gani kadtong mga gamay kaayong mga butang nakapahuman gud may sa among mga nakay amo manggipikan ning maong luna. Yan naman po na magtanom og lubi. Mao ning makita niyo karon nga kalubin-an na gyud ni. Karon 70 anyos nako. 38 nako katuig nga gauma.
Mahigit 8,000 titulo at mahigit 12,000 ektarya na rin ang naibahagi sa ating mga magsasaka sa rehiyon ng Zamboanga simula ng nanungkulan si Pangulong Marcos. Mahigit 4,000 benepisyaryo rin ang nakatanggap ng kanilang mga titulo noong araw na ito. Ito ay sumasaklaw sa mahigit 7,000 ektarya.
Ug karon dako kay kong pasalamat sa atong sekretary sa DAR ug labi na gyud sa atong mahal nga pangulo pagsuporta niya para sa kabuhian namong mga magbabaon.
Back on Balitang Pambansa, the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, or PhilHealth, reaffirmed its commitment to expanding and strengthening its programs and benefits for members as part of its RISE mission, 30 months forward, 30 days at a time initiative. PhilHealth announced the processing of the flexibility claim of reimbursement for unpaid claims dating back to December 1, 2018 up to December 31, 2024. The total value of these claims exceeds 8 billion pesos and expected to benefit over 1 million members.
The Department of Transportation, or DOTR, is terminating the contract with the current contractor of the Unified Grand Central Station project in North EDSA due to delays. Secretary Vince Dizon confirmed that a review is underway and a new contractor will be selected to complete the project. Despite the delays, Dizon assured that the station would be finished before the president's term ends.
The Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, has joined forces with one of the country's leading fast food companies to minimize waste and incorporate sustainable practices into its operations. This and other stories in tonight's Business Wrap from the Philippine News Agency.
In our business news, the Department of Trade and Industry and Jollibee Food Corporation have partnered to reduce waste and integrate sustainability practices into fast food giants' ecosystem. DTI and JFC unveiled their joint project called PopJect 2.0B, Earth's Best Friend, a just transition to sustainable lifestyles. In a press con on March 5, the DTI emphasized their duty to protect consumers' rights while guiding them towards informed, ethical, and sustainable consumption. The partnership was also made in celebration of the World Consumer Rights Day as DTI and Jollibee acknowledged the growing impact of plastic pollution. Eloise Ann Sison, Assistant Vice President of Trade Marketing Group of Jollibee, also said their goal is to create long-term behavioral change among consumers. Meanwhile, property developers are focusing on provincial markets where the demand for residential and office spaces remains high. During the Property Guru Asia Connect Manila event, Cindy Tan Harabata, President of Tahara Leisure and Hospitality Group, highlighted the significance of diversifying their market while improving quality. Jericho Go, Senior Vice President of Robinson Land, said development in the provinces promotes reverse migration as local residents no longer have to go to Manila or abroad, leading to a positive impact on the local economy. Monica Lorenzana Trajano, Vice President of Aboitiz Infra Capital Economic Estates, added that they are also focusing on projects outside Metro Manila's central business district area. For their part, Philippine Economic Zones Authority Director General Vivian Santos said that they plan to add about 30 eco zones per year due to its positive effect on the countryside. In other news, the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines on Wednesday issued its first yellow alert for the Luzon grid as demand increased amid danger level heat indices in parts of the country. The NGCP reported a peak demand of 11,829 megawatts and a capacity of 12,488 megawatts, leaving a narrow operating margin of 659 megawatts. NGCP predicts that peak demand in Luzon this year is at 14,769 megawatts, higher than 14,016 megawatts recorded on April 24, 2024. In contrast, Visayas and Mindanao are in normal operation. That's the latest business news from the Philippine News Agency. This is Wilnard Basalonia for Balitang Pambansa.
Government information officers in Eastern Visayas are stepping up their efforts to address the rising teenage pregnancy rates in the region. The group plans to use media and community-driven campaigns to raise awareness and educate the youth on the risk of early pregnancy. Alet Reyes from the Philippine Information Agency Leyte tells us more.
The Association of Government Information Officers in Region 8, or AGIU 8, is taking up its role as advocates to fight against the rising number of adolescent pregnancy in the region. With adolescent pregnancy rates remaining a concern in Eastern Visayas, AGIU 8 President John Alindi Chua of the Department of Social Welfare and Development said the group will provide its part in strengthening information drives by utilizing various mass and social media platforms and community-driven information dissemination to spread awareness on the risks of early pregnancy.
It's a social issue impacting not only one sector but across sectors in the society. So if we prevent or eradicate teenage pregnancy, we are eradicating most of the social issues that we are experiencing today.
Chua also shared that the group will jumpstart its advocacy through a series of campaigns aimed at educating young people in the communities on responsible reproductive health, life skills, and mental well-being. The regional government agency membership of the AGIU 8 has thrown in their full support to this advocacy, recognizing the role of information officers in shaping public awareness and in influencing policy support. It was learned that in Tacloban City, there were 379 cases of adolescent pregnancy recorded by the City Population Office in 2024.
From the Philippine Information Agency, Leyte, Alet Reyes, Balitang Pambansa.
The provincial government of Lanao del Norte turned over a newly constructed turugan to Barangay Pantar in the town of Nonongan. Lou Antonio of Philippine Information Agency, Iligan City, tells us more.
To preserve Maranao culture and support local tourism, the provincial government of Lanao del Norte has turned over a newly built turugan in Barangay Pantar of Nonongan town. Costing 5.49 million pesos, this two-story, 300 square meter structure highlights Maranao heritage. The turugan is a pre-colonial traditional house of the Maranaos that symbolizes high social status and serves as the residence of sultans and nobility. It is known for its sloping roof, wide open space, and detailed ochre designs. Located near Mount Inayawan Asian Heritage Park, it aims to attract more visitors and create more opportunities for the community.
Dagang panalamat na nakaatag sa product diri sa Nonongan na nabutangan ni sa turugan na o magtigum-tigum ang mga tao dito na magamit naman na.
The local government of Nonongan will manage its operations and plans to establish a pasalubong center and a museum inside it. From the Philippine Information Agency, Iligan City, Lanao del Norte, Lou Antonio for Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PDEA, made an appeal to local government units to build drug rehabilitation centers to help in the effort of turning Mimaropa into a drug-clear region. A SAPIT of Philippine Information Agency, Mimaropa, has more.
The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PDEA, presses its appeal to local government units to establish a Balay Silangan Reformation Center or Balay Silangan in their area to cater to the needs for reformation of drug surrenderers. Gracel Domingo of PDEA Mimaropa emphasized the importance of Balay Silangan not only for the reintegration of the drug surrenderers, but also as one of the important requirements for a city, municipality, or province to be declared as drug-cleared. The Balay Silangan is a collaborative effort of the LGUs and other stakeholders in the government's campaign against illegal drugs. Records from PDEA show that there are 24 Balay Silangan that were established in the Mimaropa region, and all these Balay Silangan are managed by the LGUs. Domingo said the initiative provides a structured rehabilitation program focusing on skills training, psychological counseling, and values formation to help former drug dependents reintegrate into society as productive citizens.
The initiative of establishing a Balay Silangan is part of the government's anti-drug campaign, fostering a safer and healthier communities by reforming individuals involved in illegal drug activities in the Mimaropa region. From the PIA Mimaropa, a SAPIT, Balitang Pambansa.
And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez.
This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Abiba Saripao Dak, and this is Balitang Pambansa.